that and roll with it, you know. Uh, and I think a lot of these, label rosters, the label mates that were on there and the groups that was formed together kind of put that into play. And then you see the Pistons do that with anybody on the roster in the game could take over the game. Anybody on the starting five could take over the game. And this is what we started to see in this, era that we're speaking about, where everybody on the roster was tough, but anybody could take over the game. Anybody could get on the track and destroy. You like, oh shit. You understand what I'm saying? So that is something that made, the competition even stiffer in that time. You see what I'm saying? And I think that was something that was very, very crazy, you know. And we got the reason for the season right here in the building coming back with the resurgence of bars. You see what I'm saying? The one that made you want to listen to lyrics again. You understand what I'm saying? Like that whole resurgence of hip hop right there.
Bars is back,
Philly's
right?
own in the building. Cassidy, the problem was good.
So,
Bars is back.
with you? How you feeling, man?
Peace, Cassidy. What's going on?
Uh,
All right. Yeah. Hip Hop Psycho here. Used to be on Battle Rap Arena. I don't know if you remember the show, but yeah. We gonna get into some battle rap stuff a little bit
Good.
later.
We good.
Yeah. But yeah. Definitely. I wanted to ask you. I wanted to start off. Because I'm curious. What was it like growing up in Philly? Around that hip hop scene, and what elevated you to try to, pick up the pen and pad and actually start writing yourself?
Philly, one of the dopest cities to come from. It's a hard city. It definitely represents hip hop and it's bar heavy. So it was a good place to come up. And my parents was both rappers. They rapped before I was born. So I was born into hip hop. They got me listening to hip hop as soon as I came out. So I always was in love with it. And I decided to do it professionally in the fourth grade.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, and so in the fourth grade, that's when you realize, like, like this is something I actually want to do. Like, I'm nice at this. Like, I like the reactions I'm getting when I spit.
I was in a fire prevention program, and the teacher of the class told me to write a rap about fire prevention, bring it to the class, and say it to the class. So that's when I really wrote my first rap, brought it to the class, and said it to them, and they went crazy. And I fell in love with the feeling of making people go crazy and making them respond of just your thoughts and your ideas, writing down your ideas. So from that point on, I knew I wanted to be a rapper.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's dope. And like I was saying, it was Philly, was a really, really dope scene for hip hop for a while, and you came up around that time, and you was one of the people that, made people realize, there's a lot of talent out there in Philly and everything, around the 90s and the mixtape era is what I like to call it. I love that era of hip hop too, by the way. But yeah, you kind of came around right in the middle of that. And, I had asked this question in Knowledge Chat before when you was on his show before, but I'm going to go ahead and reiterate it now. When I first heard you, I thought you was kind of like a reincarnation of Big L. You reminded me a lot of Big L when I first heard you. And that's not this, by the way. You know what I mean? I put Big L in high regard. So, did you ever hear like similar, like like people say, yo, like you be spitting like kind of like Big L a little bit, like you be laying it down like him?
Nah, I don't spit nothing like Big L, but I think the comparisons come from where he used to use a lot of figurative language, a lot of punchlines, and he was like one of the first rappers that they heard do that consistently. Like it was rappers that punched before Big L, but it was like every once in a while, like, you know what I mean? Maybe once a verse or twice a verse. But, you know what I mean? Big L came with his style where he was punching and using figurative language more frequently and constantly piecing up more syllables than the average rapper at that time. So I guess that's where the comparisons come in at, because we punch a lot, use a lot of figurative language, and piece up a lot of syllables. So to hear a rapper do all of those things is unique, and that's where the comparisons come from. But as far as the way we construct bars and the way we put it together and the way we flow and sound is nothing alike.
Yeah, yeah, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. Yeah, it was people before him because he came up under Lord Finesse, and Lord Finesse was one of the OG punches, like as far as like punching every bar. So yeah, I feel you there. And also, like I said, I used to do the old Battle Rap Arena show, and I was the first person that said this on the show, almost about 8, 9 years ago, and it reigns true. Everybody says it now, but I was the first one to say it. I said, if the person that this genre owes the most credit to is Cassidy, and that's because Cassidy changed the game. Because before Cassidy, everybody was, when battles happened, they happened like on Eminem's 8 Mile, where you had the tournament style, you had the beats going, everybody, DJ put on the beat, you spit your bars. And after the Freeway Battle, that infamous battle that went, hood viral, it changed the game. Battling over a beat became corny. It became a cop out. I was like, after that, that birthed the whole, Smack DVDs and everything else, and even the battle rap tournament stopped using beats. So so yeah, you definitely changed the game with that, and I always give you credit for that. I was the first one to give you credit for that. Now a whole lot of people might, but yeah. So shout out to you for that.
Salute.
You know what I mean? And yeah. So how did you come across with that Freeway Battle?
The Freeway Battle happened early in my career. I was with Swiss B Production Company, and my family was Rough Riders at the time. Freeway was down with Rockefeller. We was both in New York City at the time, and me and Swiss and Jay-Z was in the session together. Swiss Beats was hyping me up like I was the best artist in the world, but Jay-Z thought he had the best artist in the world. So that's how battles used to go down back in the day. So Jay-Z called up his artist that he thought was the best in the world. We called up people, they bought the cameras, and that's how the battle went down.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, and that like I said, infamous battle. Everybody, well, if you're a hip hop head, you heard it. If you didn't hear it, you need to go hear it. Classic. And then you got, like you said, you was down with Swiss Beats, you was down with Rough Riders and everything. How did you get in contact with Swiss Beats?
I got signed to Rough Riders when I was 17 years old. So Swiss Beats was a big producer over there at Rough Riders at the time. So that's how we developed the relationship. Like we was under the same production company. So that's how we started to build the relationship, started making music. Eventually Swiss wanted his own production company and he needed artists. So that's when I got separated from Rough Riders because I originally had to deal with Rough Riders in a 3-man group called Larceny Family. We was on Ride or Die Volume 2 and
Yeah.
a lot of work to get our project together. But Swiss wanted me as a solo artist. So, you know what I mean? That's how I started working with Swiss. And I went and got an artist deal with J Records. It's Clive Davis and Charles Goldstuck. So I got a deal with J Records, and Full Surface was my production company. But I got cool with Swiss because he was down with Rough Riders and so was I. That's how we met. And actually Swiss Beats' father was my manager and the person that brought me to Rough Riders. He met me in Philadelphia and brought me to New York to meet the CEOs of Rough Riders and get me a deal. So that was Swiss Beats' biological father. So that was another way we met because we was tied in like that.
True, true, true. And yeah, again, you being from Philly and everything, lot of MCs out around that time. You had major figures out there around that time. Beans was out there killing the streets around then. So it was Gilly, lot of people, a lot of competition out there. Was there a lot of competition in the streets? Like it was like as far as like don't forget Freeway too. But was it a lot of competition out in the streets as far as like trying to be the number one spot? Like because I know like out up in the Northeast, people in Brooklyn always vying for that top spot in Brooklyn, or people out in Queens always fighting for that top spot in Queens, and so forth and so forth. Was there a lot of that going on in Philly?
Um, them dudes you name, major figures, Beanie Siegel, and all of them dudes, they was before me. These situations and them, what they was doing was like before I really started to pop. Once I really started doing my thing, it was no competition. Like I had the city and the chokehold, and like so it's never really been like competition or fighting between me and nobody else because I always was just super nice. And I always was like doing a different form of music than everybody else. Like the way I was super bar heavy and rapping was different from everybody else. So it was really no competition for me.
Right, right. And did
I
did you?
was a nigga doing it too. So I was like doing it to the highest level and I was like the youngest nigga doing it. So that's the reason why I stuck out so much and there was really no competition, no real need. Um But I'm always competitive. Like I'm always trying to be the best. Told you I wanted to start rapping when I was in the fourth grade. And that's not because I wanted a chain or a car or checks or like, you know what I mean? All of the stuff that people rap for. I wanted the rap to be the best. Like, and that's the reason why I rap. So I'm always competitive. I'm always trying to be better than not just somebody from Philly, but you could be from anywhere. You could be from Africa. You could be from
True.
Australia.
Yeah.
Care where you from. It's like if you feel like you a rapper and you trying to do what I do, then I'm trying to be better than you.
Facts. That's a real MC though. That's how you. Yeah. That's the mentality a real MC has. You're never supposed to have that feeling that somebody's better than you. So I totally feel you there. And again, like I said, in your heart of hearts, that makes you a battle rapper. And I remember there was a time where Mook, shout out to Mook, he was on the Smack DVDs, and he was the first person I ever heard ever call out your name as far as wanting to battle you or something like that. 'Cause I know industry people wasn't doing that. Industry people had too much respect for you. They wasn't doing that. Mook didn't really have a whole lot to lose. He was a battle dude from Harlem, trying to get his name out there at the time. And he had the streets buzzing, but at the time, you was already established, and you kind of just dismissed him at the time. But like, what was going on? Like, was there ever a time you actually might have entertained that? Like back then when he first started calling you out on DVDs and stuff?
Nah, because I knew that was a publicity stunt. I already told everybody that I wasn't coming back to battle rap until I got 250,000, and he knew that. So jumping on the DVD saying that he got 20,000 is not even 10% of what I wanted. So he knew it wasn't possible for that to happen. It was like a publicity stunt to get his name known. And until this day, you see, you still asking the question now in 2020, you still curious because of that move he made. So it was a smart move, but he knew it was no way in the world that I was going to battle him for that type of money at that time. His fan base wasn't bigger than mine. He wasn't established. He ain't have no like machine behind him. And he only had a little bit of money to bring to the table. So it was no way that I was just going to battle him at that
Right.
time. He knew that for sure. But it was a move on his side to get his name known, to make people think that, oh, he ready to battle Cass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though he knew it wasn't going to happen, just him saying that he was trying to call me out made people think that, you know what I'm saying? And it all went.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it was a good move for him because it definitely did get his name out there. Like you said, at the time, a lot of people didn't know who Murder Mook was. Smack DVDs was just starting to come up around that time, and like Mook grew with this when Smack DVDs grew. Mook was growing right with it. He kind of was the face of those DVDs, and and that definitely was one of the things that got his name out there. And oddly enough, now Mook is that guy. You know, now he's the guy that the younger guys is calling him out for all kinds of money, and now he's in the position where he can demand X amount of money and everything. So it's strange how things go full circle when you look at it. But yeah, you know, you said you wasn't coming back to battle rap unless you had got 250 and everything.
Nah,
And
but you can't. Mook is that guy. Like Mook, my friend. Like I mean, we just was on the phone the other day. Like me and Mook cool now. Like that was damn near 18 years ago or whenever that shit was happening.
right.
Mook cool now, but I'm still that nigga. I'm still the highest paid nigga in battle rap, the highest viewed, sell the most tickets, and put up the most pay-per-view numbers. So I'm still that nigga in battle rap, and that's why I was demanding that type of money. And
Yeah,
I'm doing my thing and it's outside of battle rap. Like I drop music all of the time, and I do a lot of other shit outside of battle rap too. So that's why I feel like I
right,
demand that type of money. And
right.
want to inspire people to know they worth and know that they was worth money and start asking for bigger checks,
And
demanding
that
bigger checks. I'm the one that started that thing. Like not only did I start this battle rap period, but I started people knowing that it was money in battle rap. Like you could get money from it. Like you don't got to just battle for free and just try to get a deal to make money. Like you could actually get money off being nice at battling. And a lot of people ain't see it back then, but they see it now because it is leagues giving out checks.
right. And that's real. That's real because, like you said, back then they was doing it all for free, and I was around when the money first started going down, and it happened. And after it happened, I remember again said it on the show. I was like, battle rap ain't never going to be the same. After Summer Madness 2, when all the legends came back, when it was Enes and Sirius Jones and all these legends came back, and people found out how much money they made on that event. It wasn't the same. Everybody started demanding money, this and money, you know, this much money and that much money, everything else. I was like, yeah, the game's changed now. People are no longer going to be giving out free bars anymore, you know, and that was like, that's a good thing, you know. It's definitely it's a good thing for the MCs. You know what I mean? The fans are going to miss out, but they're just going to have to, you know, deal with it because, you know, the MCs do need to be paid for their intellectual properties.
Yeah, but the MCs also got to understand the business and step it up to make themselves more valuable. Cause ain't nothing, ain't shit in life for free. Ain't nobody giving out no money nowhere. You can't do nothing and just get no free money. So you gotta earn the money. You gotta be worth the money.
That's true.
Not only do you gotta bring the money back that you getting, but you also gotta bring the money back for the people that advanced you the money, and then you gotta make them money. And I'm sure they not just
Mm-hmm.
these events and putting these things together to make just the artists rich and make themselves go broke. They trying to make money. That's why they invest in their money. So you not only got self money, but you also got to make the people that's investing money. So you got to think better, you got to be smarter, and you got to work harder. And that's what I'm trying to influence these battle rappers to do. 'Cause even though they is getting little checks, they not getting nowhere near the checks that I'm getting, and I'm not getting nowhere the checks that I'm about to be getting when battle rap grow even more. So
It's
like
definitely growing.
a lot more money that they could be getting. They getting like spoon fed right now because they don't truly understand the value of battle rap and they not working hard enough in the right direction. But that's gonna change real soon. A lot of battle rappers gonna smarten up. They are smartening up now. A lot of them going in a better direction, and you're gonna see that continuing to happen because they're not gonna have no choice from this point on.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, it's all about what you work. And you know, you gotta perform. If you're gonna be getting paid this kind of money, you got to step up and make sure that you give the people what they paid for. Else, you're not going to get that check again. It's like, are you here for the longevity, or you just here for the quick money? You know, just take the check and run. And you know, that's pretty much what people got to understand. So I agree with that. And you know, then you know, you decided to come back. You know, I remember you decided to come back, and we was trying to get you on the show around that time too. We was promoting that battle and everything. I forgot what happened, but we wasn't able to get you that around that time. But you came back for the disaster battle, and this was highly anticipated. Like this was the
I decided to come back. I never left. I told you. I told them I wasn't going to battle until I got a certain amount of money. So if they would
right.
have back with that money at any given time, I would have been ready to battle. But
True.
some time to build up these leagues, generating enough money to bring me back. So once they got enough money to bring me back, then I came back.
Right.
But
Right.
I woke up and just like, oh, I just want to battle rap today. No, they called me with the right amount of money, so I was like, let's get it. And y'all pick
Okay.
whoever me to battle, and they decided to pick Disaster.
Okay, because that kills the question I was going to ask you. Because I was going to ask you, was Disaster your first choice, or was he just the person that came with the money? So I'm assuming he's the person that came with the bag.
I don't got no picks. No battle rapper in the world is better than me, so it don't matter who I battle. So let
Mm,
whoever money pick.
right, right. All right. So yeah, and then you had that battle, good turnout and everything else, and you recently came back again for a couple other battles over the last year. You said you just answered one of my questions was you had plan on having any future battles after the ones you just recently had, and you said yeah. Do you have like a certain battle deal that you signed, or is it just like handshake deals that you got for future endeavors?
No, that'd be impossible for me to sign a battle deal. I'm a star. I'm established. Like I don't even sign to record labels, so I definitely wouldn't sign to a battle league. Like under contract. Like I just got to keep battling. Like no, they bring me enough money for one battle, and I agree to that one battle. I tell them to pick who they want me to battle, and I do that one battle, and then I go back to doing my music or whatever I got to do until the next person bring a bag big enough for me to battle. So I'm definitely going to battle again because I'm the energy. I'm the biggest thing in battle rap. Like these battle leagues want to sell tickets. They want to put up pay-per-view numbers. They want to get lit. They want to get attention on battle rap, and the only way to do that is to book me. So they definitely gonna have to book me. That's how I know I'm coming back. But it's not in contract like I'm obligated to come back, or they could just make me come back whenever they ready. Like I would never be like that. That's for little battle rap niggas. And that's why I be talking to them like that because they in those type of contracts and I would never be in those type of contracts. It's like a real big difference between me and battle rappers.
Right, right, right. Yeah, it's all about what position you got. I totally understand. Now that you had some questions for him?
Yeah, I had got a chance to see that, one contrast to another. Since we was talking about the Disaster battle, it was a disaster for them to pick Disaster, in my opinion. I think from the first one to the second one, that you kind of showcase your versatility in regards to, even to the point where you you show him how to use his own style against him. You know what I'm saying? Like, do was there ever another instance to where you think you had to go that far? Because I didn't really see you kind of go that way with nobody else. Like, what kind of sparked that ferociousness in to where you could, like, you really, like a couple people you slapped up in the battle, but him, like, it was like full, kind of full tilt for me to see that hunger that I seen and I heard over the years from you on the mic.
Nah, that wasn't really hungry against disaster. Like I ain't even really take that battle serious. I don't take none of these battles serious because I know these battle rappers can't fuck with me. Like look at their history, look at the work they put in. They never could fuck with me. So I don't even feel like there's even no competition. So yeah, I mean I just go out there and just play with niggas and just show niggas that I'm better than them. Like I mean I wasn't no hungry and ferocious. Actually, when I battled Disaster, I was out of shape. I was a little fat. I wasn't even like in my bag. Like, you know what I mean? I just came back because they came with the money I wanted. So I wasn't like in my ferocious bag or nothing like that. But it is what it is. Like I just wanted to show people that that style that they might think is so crazy when you hear it, him just rhyming all of these words and doing what I was doing. It's like I don't like it's alright, but that shit easy to do and that shit ain't really nothing. So that's the reason why I did that, just to show people that I knew he was gonna rap like that to try to act like he doing something, but that shit ain't really nothing. Like, and it's like that's why I did that.
Right, right. And when you came back, well,
I'm not
when you came to the league, when you came to the leagues,
battle. I'm just not gonna go out there and just imitate the person's style like I'm a impressionist or some shit like that. Like I'm not gonna do that all the time. That was just me deciding to do that at the time with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's not like a go-to move or some shit I got. Like it's just like what it is what it is.
right? And when you came back to the, well, when you went to the leagues and you started battling in front of bigger crowds, was that a difference than like on, battling on the block or in the studio or something like that? Was it difference battling? Like, 'cause I know you used to performing in like your songs on stage in front of big crowds, but battling in songs is a little bit different. Did you feel a difference there?
Nah, my life a movie. I feel like there's always a big crowd watching, so big crowds don't really affect me. But this new form of battle rap they doing is a lot different than how it used to be when I was battling on the streets. None of the rules and none of the shit is the same. So it's a big difference. But the crowd don't really mean nothing to me. Like, you know what I mean? The bigger the crowd, the more money you can make. And that's how I look at it. I'm a businessman. And it's like when I sell out these venues and there's the most people that ever came out to a battle rap event before, that mean this event made the most money that a battle rap event ever made. And I'm looking at it like that. Like, so it is what it is. It don't matter if it's a big crowd where we could make money or we figure out a way where it could be two people in the room and we still make money. I'm all for it.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, because like a lot of industry people have tried to transition or whatever. People that might have used to battle rap went to the industry and then they said, well, I'm gonna go back. Well, I'm going to the ring now that this battle rap thing's big and it's generating revenue. I'm gonna go in here and give it a shot. Like Joe Buttons, for instance. I saw Jay Mills. Jay Mills is one of the reasons why I just brought that question because Jay Mills when he came back and he had his battle. I felt like he got distracted by the crowd. Like he spent a lot of time arguing with the crowd, feeling like the crowd wasn't really hearing his bars or whatever. And sometimes I feel like a MC can get too caught up in that at that moment because I understand the difference in the building. It's a certain energy in the building. And I know a lot of times MCs get caught up trying to win in the building, and that's because that's important. Trying to win in the building, you do want those crowd reactions, but a lot of times that footage is forever, though, right? Like the footage is forever. That building, that's the moment, but that footage, that's forever. So and sometimes if you get too caught up with the crowd, you can kind of lose your focus and everything, and you might lose both. You might lose the battle in the room and on footage because and that's what I felt like happened to Jay Mills. So that's why I was asking you, about the differences and everything.
Um, I mean, it is what it is. Like if you a better rapper and you're saying the better shit, no matter what the crowd doing, it's not going to make you be able to lose. Most of the people in the world not leaders, like most of the people followers. So a lot of people don't even know the science or even how to break down who won the battle. They just go by the crowd. So if the crowd going crazy for this dude when he say a rap, they like, oh, that shit was fire. Because the crowd went crazy and they think they supposed to go crazy too. They want to fit in with everybody.
Right.
And if the crowd booing, then they like, oh, that shit was trash because they want to fit in with the majority of people. That's how like a lot of people is. So, but that doesn't mean like just because the crowd cheering for something that you said that is hot. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of times in them
That's
crowds,
true.
it's hard for them people to even hear what's being said. They be drunk, high in that building for hours and hours at a time. And a lot of times it be bets going on. People be having picks. A lot of battle rappers be inviting people and they be having family and fans there. So the reason why people might
Yep.
might scream or do certain things is all, it's not based off who's saying the best shit. But that's what battle rap is about, figuring out who the best battle rapper and who could rap the best.
Right, right. Now that this brings me to my next question.
Everybody,
Some people are
people in the world, and everybody don't judge battles the same. Everybody don't even feel the same about battle rap, but sometimes people let a certain amount of comments or a certain amount of people in the crowd make it seem like that's the whole world, and everybody in the world feel like that, when I know for sure that's not how it is. So those things can affect me, maybe like how they affect other people that might not be as informed as me.
right, right, right. You're so right about that. That's why I was saying like that's why I said I'm more of a footage guy because I've been to a thousand of these events and I've seen a lot of people lose battles in the room and then when the footage comes out, it's a completely different battle. So like that's why I always say MC. That's advice I always give to MCs. Just focus on your opponent. Don't get too wrapped up into the crowd. Of course you're going to pay attention somewhat, but don't get too wrapped up into it. Focus more on your opponent because that footage is forever. But do you think battle? Do you think it should be universal around battle rap? Because some leagues do it, but do you feel like every league should be judged? Do you think they should have judges going on every league so it can be like a solidified winner and loser opposed to everything being subjective and everybody arguing?
Not necessarily. It shouldn't be judges until people can understand the science. Like, what are they going to judge it by? What categories, and how are they going to judge who won? Like, people just going to be judging it off their opinion. Like, their opinion might be influenced by what the crowd doing or how they able to. It's like a lot that can influence people to judge a certain way. But in order to be able to have real judges, you gotta you gotta have people that know the science, understand the science, and be judging it by certain, judging it a certain way. So I don't think they should have judges yet, so people could better understand the science and know how to.
Like a point system or something like that.
Yeah, but even with that, it's like, what are they going to give them points for? It's like people got to understand how a point system will work. Have to understand how difficult it is to do certain things in battle rap, and they would have to have a history. Like, they would have to know a lot of history to understand battle rap, because somebody could say a line and it might seem dope, but four other battle rappers might have said it before him. But if you don't
True.
know history, you might be like, oh, that was a hot line, and give him a 10 in points. But how you going to give him a 10 in points with a line that he stole from four or five other battle rappers? If you knew your history, then it'd
True.
be zero, because that's a stolen line. Actually, you probably lose points, more points for stealing. Like, you probably just lose the whole battle altogether, because that's not what you're supposed to do. So, you know what I mean? Like, how would it be set up? How would you judge it? Like, you know what I'm saying? And what are you judging? Like, and that'd be important, and that'd have to be figured out before I think judges could be brought in, because it'd still be the same shit. It'd just be somebody's opinion.
That's real. That's real. Good points. Good points. Now that you want to jump back in?
I heard you say something in the interview that I agree with wholeheartedly, and you were talking about bars. You said it's not easy for everybody to construct bars. So, in the same manner that you was talking about, the science to understanding, the battle rap and the history, can you equate that in the same way in regards to bars? Like, what could people actually do? Is it something that you could put together? Something you could kind of sit down, write, whatever, you know, to help cats actually construct like a 16 or something like that for cats who might be interested in it.
Back of my hand, and I got a lot of formulas, things that I could teach a person that's just starting, or a person that's been doing it for 20 years. Like, you know what I mean? I know the science on all levels, and I could teach it. Like, that's the reason why a lot of people can't teach. Like, they might be dope rappers, but they can't teach other people to be dope rappers, because they don't necessarily understand the science or understand how they even that hot. They just um they just might be a fan of hip hop, liked a lot of music, and just doing what come natural, but don't know how to do it again. And it's like it's a science with making Tylenol. When you buy Tylenol, and if you bought it in 2002, then you bought another one in 2008, and then you buy another one in 2020. You want it to be the same way. You want it to cure your headache the same way. You don't want it to be a guessing game like you take one Tylenol, it might work, then the next time it might not work, or is it one work or one was stronger? It's like you want it to just be the same. And most of the time, if you buy the same type of Tylenol, it's going to be the same no matter what year you buy it because they got it down to a science. They know how to measure every ingredient put into the Tylenol to the T to make the exact same pill over and over and over again. But you need to know the science to be able to duplicate something. If you just throwing ingredients in there, then it'll never come out the same way. And that's what a lot of rappers doing, just throwing the ingredients in there and it's never coming out the same because they don't understand the science. But I could be able to make the same Tylenol, but then I could still be able to make the same Motrin, the same aspirin over and over. You like that punchline? I could write another punchline that same way that's going to affect you the same way because I know the science. I know how I came up with it and I know why it's affecting you like that. But the average rapper don't know those things. And even the ones that do only know it to a certain extent. Maybe they stopped at a certain year and they knew it up into that year, but then they stopped. So now they don't know it now. But it's like I think I'm the only one around that's still in it that know it up until now. And that's the reason why I be talking this talking, promoting what I'm promoting. Bars is back, GOAT gang.
Right, right. And how much do you think, outside of the obvious, with the leagues and everything else, like, do you think, how much do you think battle rap as a whole has evolved from 20 years ago to now? As far as like outside of the, with the, outside the no beats and the leagues and everything else. I'm like, as far as like formulating bars and everything else, like, do you feel like you still structure your bars the same in 2000 as opposed to now, or do you feel like you adjust with times or what?
I don't have to adjust with times because I'm ahead of my time and nobody even caught up to the science that I brought to the table when I was 17. You listen to the way that I was rapping on Ride or Die Volume 2 or Ride or Die Volume 3. It's like people still ain't catch up to that level of the science. So I don't really gotta change with no time. Like I change the times. Like I'm the one that determine how things are gonna change. Like I set the trends and I make shit happen. I don't follow.
Right, right, right. All right. So yeah, and so you got any battles lined up already that you want to promote or anything, or?
I just told you I don't got no battles lined up, man. When they cut the check, I'll start promoting it. But until then, I don't got no battles lined up. The last battle is the last battle, and until they come with a check, I don't got no battles. But if you was to say right now you had enough money to put up, and I gave you my account, and you was to put the money in my account, then I would have a battle coming up, and you could pick whoever you want me to battle. But until that happen, I don't got no battles. But I got a project about to come out called The Energy. It's the best album of the decade. And I'm willing to battle it out with any album that niggas want to go neck and neck with. It's the best project I ever put together. Crazy music. Be giving niggas sneak peeks on my social media all the time. So everybody that's locked in, go to my social media and check out these songs that I be releasing, man. Is that work? And the project coming real soon. It's finished. I'm just putting the finishing touches on it right now, packaging it up. So it should be out any day now. It's called The Energy, and the shit is retarded. I
Yeah,
also got a mixtape that's about to come out called Bars and Beats, where I'm producing 100% of it, and I'm doing 100% of the beats, and I'm doing 100% of the writing. So there's only going to be one name on the project, and it's called Bars and Beats. I already released 12 records from the project that's on all platforms. So if you got Apple Music or Spotify or whatever you YouTube, whatever you want, I already released 12 singles that I produced and wrote from the Bars and Beats mixtape. But I got a real EP, a real full project called The Energy that I'm about to drop any day now too.
That's dope. All right, that's dope. And okay,
Video to one of the singles off the project. It's called Lean on Me. We just shot it Saturday, featuring Devin Culture, one of the dopest singers in the world. So I'm really excited about the video. It should be done real soon. We should be finished editing real soon, so y'all be able to see it in no time.